We're here outside the Comedy Studio, the third floor of the Hong Kong in Harvard Square, with Shane Mauss.
Hello!
Who is having a busy month.
Yeah.
The new CD came out last week.
Called Jokes to Make My Parents Proud. You can get it on iTunes or Amazon. It's cheaper right now on Amazon. Don't know if it's going to stay that way. My special with Comedy Central just came out. You can get it online for free. You can get it commercial free off iTunes for $3, but why not get it for free? If you're watching it on your computer.
The Comedy Central Presents half hour special, which was last Friday.
Yeah, it debuted last Friday. Woo!
Does it feel strange to see a half-hour special with yourself on Comedy Central?
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's everything that I dreamed about having. That was like my ultimate goal, and so, and then watching it, I was like, oh, it seems like more normal than like what I thought it was going to feel like. It's just like, yeah, there I am on there. It wasn't. It didn't blow my mind as much as I thought it would, but it's amazing. Very fortunate.
And you also have a stack of CDs that the physical CDs are only available at the shows, right?
Yes, and I just found out they're not being pressed for another week. And so I was supposed to have them tonight, and I don't have them. I don't understand how a CD factory is overly busy right now, where they're pushing. You'd think they'd be hurting for all the work that they could get right now, since no one buys CDs. But
they're just busy printing up as much Lady Gaga as they possibly can.
Yes, exactly. It's all about the Lady Gaga.
So how did you choose the material you were going to do on a half-hour special? You've been working a lot on the road and doing different television shows.
Yeah, well, I picked all the material that I thought like other comics kind of like, and then it was just a matter of some things transitioned well into other things, and I went through I considered about 2 hours of material to do, and I did about an hour and 15 at the shows, and then we cut it back down to like 55 minutes for the CD, so I wasn't burning too much material, and also people get bored with an hour and 15-minute CD. So hopefully you don't get bored with my 55 minutes of hilarity.
What happens to the rest of the material? Is that go in the pot for next time, or?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to burn all my material from my CD, and develop a new act, so that other stuff is going to help out. In the meantime, the stuff that's already been proven but just didn't make it into the CD will kind of be the core of my new hour that I'm trying to put together.
And on the site, I reviewed the album. I said that you have sometimes the sort of the dumb guy persona in the jokes, but the material couldn't necessarily have come from someone of that persona. You have to be smarter than you look to do that kind of thing. Brian Regan does that kind of thing. Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah,
those kind of people.
I think it's fun looking at things from like kind of a naive, like unknowing kind of viewpoint. Some might say like existential or whatever, but I prefer like the dumber down version of existentialism, I guess. Maybe because I can't say it correctly. I think I get away with like some of my edgier stuff. I kind of get away with because I kind of play the dumber, not knowing kind of character. Like, I don't know what I'm saying up here, and I get away with a lot of edgier, dirtier kind of material that way.
Well, it's a fine comic tradition as well. You can stretch that back to Tom Sawyer if you want, and to even people don't remember as much how good a comic Andy Griffith was.
I've heard a bunch of Andy Griffith recently, and all of his stuff was sort of the same that I've heard, but it was all great. But it was all kind of that same. It was like, so I went in, there's this crowd gathering around to watch these guys throwing this ball, but it wasn't shaped like a ball. It's like, oh, he's talking about football. And that's like what the whole...
what it was football.
Yeah.
With the funny little pigskin and the big orange drink.
Right. and I thought it was hilarious, and that kind of thing. I like that approach to comedy. Like I always like looking at things from like the point of view is this is my very first time seeing or experiencing it. I tend to talk about sex more because I'm immature, but yeah, I use the same kind of technique.
Were there any specific comics that influenced that approach?
Not really. I think I'm kind of a spacey guy anyway, and I'm sometimes a little bit dumb. Anyhow, so it's coming from a real thing.
You're blowing my whole theory here.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm only smart when I'm writing, and then the rest of my life, like in person, not as smart. I'm not as quick off the top of my head.
How does that happen?
I don't know. I think my brain just works slower than like I can maybe get to smarter levels of thinking, but still through a very slow process. I'm not super quick.
We'll pause to let the fire truck go by. So we're also losing you at the end of this month. You're moving out to Austin, and then you'll be out in Australia for a while.
Yeah, moving to Austin. Sorry, Boston, it's not you, it's me. I want to travel, you just want to stay in the same place and do the same things, and I want to see the world. So, get your shit together, Boston. And, I've had a lovely 6.5 years in Boston. It's where I started comedy, and I'm very happy that I happened to land here. It's best place to start comedy in the country, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, a lot of comics wind up moving to New York or to Los Angeles. Why Austin?
I'm moving to Austin just because I was thinking about moving to LA. One, I'm sick of winter, so New York's out of the question, even though it's a stand-up capital. And then I'm moving to Austin. I want to be in a smaller comedy city. I don't care about acting or writing screenplays or anything, so I don't want to deal with the whole LA thing. I want to go somewhere where it's very easy for me to just walk in and get stage time. I don't want to deal with like trying to get past at clubs and the whole networking thing. I feel like I've already done all that stuff and got like all that stuff that I've already wanted with like my CD and special. Just without having to be in New York or LA, and that's, to me, it's where you go to get discovered or get some big TV show or something like that, and it's a bunch of stuff that I'm not all that interested in.
How do you, working from Austin, how would you work towards like the next CD or the next special?
Austin's like it's a really hip area of Boston of Texas. It's a hip area of Texas that's really unique, and there's stage time available during the week, so it'll kind of be the same as around here, where just on my off nights when I'm not on the road, I'll swing into like Cap City Comedy Club and do a bunch of new material.
You've already made connections there?
Yeah. I'm headlining Cap City in a couple weeks here, and I know some people there. I think it'll be a supportive community. So.
You planning to make it back to Boston?
Yeah, I'll definitely make it back to Boston. I have a ton of friends here, and there's clubs that I like working here and there. There's a lot of, I get college stuff around. So there's a lot of reasons for me to travel back to Boston. So this isn't the last time you'll see me, just the last time I'll be living here.
Well, thank you, Shane Mauss, for your time.
Thank you.
Good luck in Austin.
Thanks.